beautiful people, welcome once again to HLHnclothing, and in today's video we're going to learn how to sew this illusion neckline here. Yes, thank you so much for being patient with me. I actually had to get the fabric so that we can try this out, and I would love us to just try it out on calico fabric first of all before we go right into our main fabric. So I'll go right ahead to show you, and I'm sure you now be confident to try it out as well. So I have my calico fabric here. This is what we're going to be using, and I would advise that you press up your fabric, be it a sample or even your main fabric. Even if it's this, just press it out so that you don't have creases, because sometimes these creases actually add measurement or reduce measurement to your client measurement. So you want everything to be smooth, flat while you're cutting it out. So just press it out to remove the creases. And these are the kind of meshes I have. I just want to quickly show you the kind of tulle or mesh that I have here. Is there a difference? Please, if there's a difference in mesh and tulle, please let me know. Leave it in the chat below. I would love to learn as well. I just call them the same thing. What's the difference between mesh and tulle? I really love to know. So I have this one here, and you can see that this one stretches crosswise, and lengthwise it doesn't have stretch like that. So you want a mesh that is like this, the one that doesn't, sometimes you would even want one that doesn't even stretch both ways. So this one stretches one side but doesn't stretch this way. This is the perfect fabric that you're going to be needing for this kind of illusion neckline that has netting. So when you're going to be cutting out, you want to be cutting on, like you're going to fold it along the part that doesn't stretch, so that you don't add extra allowance or extra fabric, extra width to your measurement or to your client's measurement. This is another kind of mesh I have. I'm sure if you look at this, if you look through, there are no holes here. This one is there are no holes at all. It's packed neatly together, tightly together. So if I stretch it this way, there's a stretch here. Can we see that? But along this side, the stretch is there, but it's not as much as this one. So we can see. So this is another type, and this is like a skin net. So let's see. It doesn't really stretch this way. Let's see about here. Whoop, it stretches as well. So you want one that has maybe a one-way stretch. Sometimes some styles require the one that has no stretch at all. So, but if it stretches palm and palm, guys, I would advise you to go for the one that has just one-way stretch, not two-way stretch. Okay, so now that we've discussed the kind of meshes, different kind of meshes depending on the kind of style you want, I wanted to show you my pattern. So I actually store my patterns in brown envelopes. Someone asked that, is it every time I want to do a new style that I cut another pattern? No, not every time. There are some styles that I'll just cut freehand, and there are some that these patterns I can keep reusing them. You know, I can even build on this one if I have different sizes. I can size it up, size it down. So I'll just prefer to just keep them in a brown envelope till when I'm ready to use it. I'll label it, and from my envelope I've already brought out the style 3. If you have not seen this video of how I drafted this style that we want to do now, I'll invite you to click the link up here to watch that video, or check in the description box for that particular video. And now we have both the back here. I have my back here. This is my back that we're using, and my front. So this is my front, and it has been labeled well already. So I'll just go right ahead for us to start cutting, sewing, and sizing it up. Alright, so if you're interested to see me cut, sew, and fit this particular illusion neckline style, please just keep on watching. And we're doing illusion neckline 3 because that was the one that most people voted. The next one will be illusion neckline 4 because there were a lot of votes as well on that one. So let us keep watching and let us dive right into this video. So I will go right ahead to arrange this pattern on the fabric and cut out. So if you have things that you can place on your pattern so that they don't move, do well to place that on there, but I'll just use this pins to hold it in place so it doesn't move while I am cutting. I folded my fabric into two and I will just cut that out first. So I will also notch this part of the zip so I know where the zip will be going into. I'll go ahead to notch the darts as well. If I do want it to be dartless, of course I can remove the darts from the side, but I'll just put the darts there. Then mark this part where the dart point is going to be. I just put a pin through that dart point to the other point there so that there's a hole there across both of these back pieces, and I'll keep this away, cut out the front pieces as well. Also, please remember that you need sewing allowance there, so I'm going to be leaving space for my sewing allowance. I'm going to pin this. I'll leave enough space so that you can either mark your sewing allowance on the fabric like this or put sewing allowance to your paper. But man, I prefer marking it on the fabric because putting your sewing allowance on the paper, extra time. So let me just pin this down, then I'll measure. But you have to be accurate, so I'll just measure the sewing allowance right on the fabric. I'm sure you're going to see how to do that. Okay, so I'm going to be measuring ½ inch round and I'll be marking it ½ inch so that it's perfect. Then ½ inch at this front part, ½ inch here and here. So guys, we have sewn this down, sewn the neckline and sewn by the side. So you remember we cut two of this, it's double. You can see it's double. So we're going to flip it inside out from here. But before we do that, you need to trim. We actually need the smaller scissors for this kind of things to go in. So I'll cut that part, reduce. So I'll cut this part and cut the other part. Just trim it so close to the sewing, but be really careful. We can see how it looks now. I'll just also you can use your pin to really push this part out very well, so it's out. I have pushed this out. I'll give this a very good press. Remember, use the color of the netting. So if you're using brown, use brown thread here so it doesn't show this way. Iron this, and here are the pieces, the other pieces. I'll just iron everything to be crisp. So my two back pieces, my front piece, one here and the other one here. So I'll just iron everything to be crisp, and then we put the zip and also put this right through the middle. So let me iron this, put my zip, and we'll now sew the netting. So guys, see how ironing this netting has made this place look so neat and all. You see that it's not even showing. If I had used this particular color of thread, it's going to be all lovely. So I have that netting, and I went ahead to iron these ones as well, for here and for here, and I've ironed the back with where the zipper would go in, like so. I don't know, I'm not good with ironing though. Any ideas that I can use to make my ironing skills better? Because my ironing skills it sucks, man. It sucks. So I'll put my zipper here. Let me just keep that aside to when I put my zipper. And for this part, we'll just go right ahead to place this like so, and I'll just sew 1/2 inch. I'll place it this way. From the top, I'll sew 1/2 inch, sew 1/2 inch, sew 1/2 inch to the bottom, and sew it for the other part. So that's where the netting will be. Okay, so let's quickly finish this up real quick, and we'll see what it looks like in just a minute. Alright guys, so we have made it. Okay, let me use my hair and cover. So this is what it is, right? This is what it is up onto my half length that I have here. Yeah, this is what it is. So I'm sure that you'll be able to actually work with this pattern with how we explained it. So if you want to see how to draft it again, the link is up here, or you check my description box. Don't forget to watch the ads that play on the video. We have to make money so that I can get fabric and try out these things for you. Can you see? So I'm sure you're loving it, right? You can see the feet, you can see the neck high up. So what they do is they now get all those trimmings and place, and everything looks either like this or like this here. So if you want to see style 4, just watch the ads so that I can do style 4 for you, and I'll even be more motivated to do every other illusion neckline. We'll just sew everything on the fabric. So guys, till we see you in our next tutorial. Stay safe, God bless you, bye. Do not forget to subscribe, guys. Subscribe, give me a huge thumbs up. Also like, share, comment. If you did enjoy it, let me know, and we'll see you in the next tutorial. Bye. So is this okay? No. So guys, till we see you in our next tutorial.